This is the Volvo EX90, the flagship Volvo vehicle, bringing together the very best Swedish design, technology and safety. It's got one or two problems, but aside from that, it is really good. Welcome to Four Wheels in the Seat. My name is Alex Dalrymple. Week by week I review new cars and tell you what I think about them. To make sure you don't miss an episode, please hit the subscribe button down below the notification bell. And if you enjoy the video, or even if you don't, please give me a like. So the EX90, it looks really good. Volvo have certainly progressed their design a lot since the 1980s when I was growing up, and they effectively resembled bricks with wheels. They got a little bit too rounded perhaps in the 90s and early noughties, but now Volvo's design language, it's kind of a nice mixture of round and square, and it looks really good. So the EX90 is electric only. It is a completely different car to the petrol version, the XC90. It shares the same battery as the Polestar 3, but apart from that, it is a completely unique car. Now, most interestingly, here at the front, we've got the Thor's Hammer driving lights. These actually split open to reveal the LED headlights. This particular car is an entry-level plus model, so the upper spec car actually gets pixel LEDs behind here, but these are just normal LEDs, but still look really, really good. 20-inch wheels in this car. The top spec model gets 22-inch wheels, but these ones still look really good. We've got a full-length glass roof up the top here that has quite a bit of UV protection built into it, so the interior doesn't really get all that hot. But at the front here is the LiDAR detector, and that allows this car to have level 3 automation, meaning that in theory it can pretty much drive itself, but the driver has to be present behind the wheel to intervene at any moment. The door handles pop out from the side here with your iPhone acting as a key. You've got to have the Volvo app installed to use that properly. Dark glass back here with a dark C-pillar. At the back here, rear light clusters look really good. They're a sort of Polestar kind of design wrapping around here, and they continue up here on the D-pillar as well, sort of looking like red lit up steps. Big Volvo badge here, and under the powered tailgate. With the third row up, you get 324 litres of storage space, but lower the rear seats, which you can do at the push of a button, and that expands to 700 litres. But this is the first car I've seen that you can actually put the third row back up, again, with just a button push. That's pretty awesome. Also at the back here is a handy guide to tell you what can fit in the back of the Volvo. Depending on whether you've got the seats up or down, you can apparently get a refrigerator in here. An additional 46 litres of storage space here in the front. All EX90s come with 2 electric motors that power all 4 wheels, and together they generate 300 kilowatts of power and 770 Newton meters of torque, shooting this nearly 2.7 tonne SUV to 100 k's per hour in 5.9 seconds. If you step up to the top grade model, you can knock an entire second off that 0 to 100 time. So yeah, this car gets along very nicely. A full charge will get you 570 kilometers of range, and charging to 80% takes about 30 minutes at a high-speed charger. The colour of this car is sand dune. I quite like it, but you only have to rearrange the letters in the word dune for it to become nude. And the colour kind of reminds me of those, fitness influencers who show off their butts a lot wearing skin-coloured lycra. Yeah, that's a little bit like what this looks like to me. The interior of the Volvo is beautiful, Scandi design all the way. So it's minimalist, very clean, lots of neutral colors with Nordica artificial leather on the seats and up here on top of the dash. Stitching, we've got real wood here with LED lights underneath it, which makes for a very nice effect at night. And yeah, it feels really good in here. Not an awful lot of physical controls because pretty much everything runs through the big 14.5-inch center console screen, which looks like a giant iPad that's been slapped in the middle of the dashboard, but it is really good. It runs Google Android Automotive software, and that is pretty much the same across the board with all Volvo and Polestar cars. This is a really good system. You can actually sign into your Google account and run various apps on here, so there's complete integration between your personal Google account and the one that runs here in the car. The native maps here are Google, of course, and and they're really good because they tell you where all of the nearest charging stations are. So if I click on this button here, it will direct me to the nearest charging station. There's 2 out of 2 available, and it's a 3-minute drive away. So that's just a really good handy feature to have while you're on the road. There is a lot of customization and assistance available with this, including Google Assistant. Hey Google, open the driver's side window.
Sorry, I didn't understand.
Yeah, you see, a BMW would open the window. This doesn't do that. So it's more about sort of features and functions to help you while you're driving rather than anything to operate the car, as you might see in a BMW, for example. But it's still pretty good. Apple CarPlay also runs through this system wirelessly, of course, and it looks really good and is very responsive. So you can actually have Siri and the Google Assistant doing battle with each other if you like. I'm not going to try that out because something scary might happen. The world could explode. With this system also, it also controls things like the mirrors, the opening of the glove box, for example, is done through this. But if you want to like change the mirrors or something like that, you have to go through this system and find the right button for it, and that is a little fiddly while you're driving. So you can control the right hand and then you control it over here with the steering wheel. It is just a little bit fiddly perhaps. So just because technically you can do something doesn't mean you should. Now in the week I've had this car, I have had some issues with the Google Maps just suddenly not working for a couple of days. All I was getting was a blank screen whenever I went to the maps, and that was the same here on the instrument cluster. So I've had to switch into Apple CarPlay maps. That's fine. A couple of times also Apple CarPlay hasn't connected properly. So the system, while it's very good, is not perfect. Could do with just a little bit of work. The rest of the cabin is really, really good. We've got this big storage space here underneath the floating console. We've got a charging pad, a wireless charging pad up here. The cup holders here underneath a sliding door there. Volume controls for the sound system. They've got a nice little textured detail in the middle there. Center console bin, it's not very big, but it does have a false floor there, so you can get a little bit of extra room. Head-up display on the windshield, it's pretty minimalist, doesn't really do much more other than show you your speed and navigation directions. 9-inch digital instrument cluster in front of the driver. It's very narrow. It has 3 different display modes where you can just show your speed, or you can show Google Maps, or you can show a display of the LiDAR from the roof. It'll show you cars on the road in front of you for about 50 to 100 meters. Steering wheel, I like the feel of this one. It's Nautica leather wrapped, has a few basic controls. These ones kind of do double duty to not only control the sound system, but if you're making adjustments to the mirrors and windows or to the steering column, you can do that with these, and adaptive cruise controls over here on the left. The cabin, really nice and light and bright with that beautiful panoramic sunroof, and the seats are heated, ventilated. The steering wheel is heated as well. There's electric adjustment for the front seats, of course, as well as lumbar support. So yeah, you're pretty comfortable here in the Volvo EX90. The back seat is nice and comfortable. I'm 190 centimeters tall behind my own seating position, plenty of knee room, plenty of headroom, more of the beautiful view through the panoramic sunroof there. There's 4 zones of climate control in this car, so both of the rear seat passengers, well, the one in the middle just has to sit halfway in between, I suppose, can adjust the temperature individually. Air vents down there. There's additional air vents up here in the B-pillar as well, and more of this nice wood that lights up in the dark. The Bose sound system. Oh, I forgot to mention before, there's a 14-speaker Bose sound system in this car. It sounds pretty good, but if you step up to the top spec model, you can get the Bowers & Wilkins 25-speaker sound system, which I have heard, and it is nothing short of epic. Armrest with mechanical cup holders here. Oh, they're not very deep actually, but it looks like the lid will kind of hold your drink in place. And yeah, so it's pretty comfortable back here in the EX90's back seat. Okay, let's see how much room we got. Oh, this is not elegant. Oh, okay. Oh. Look, so long as the backseat passenger doesn't have the seat all the way back, there's actually a reasonable amount of room back here. Cup holder, another air vent. Yeah, look, it's not too bad. Not a lot of headroom though. Don't think I'd want to be on a long road trip in the 3rd row. But yeah, it's pretty good. Oh, hang on. My middle-aged knees are telling me that this is not really for grown-ups. Ow! Oh. Did it. There is quite a bit of beeping that goes on when you're backing out, especially on a steep driveway like this, and I've got some leaves there from the plant next to the driveway, and the car gets confused by that. So I do find myself backing out very slowly just because all of this beeping and the stuff on the screen, there's a lot going on. Once you start going forwards, it's fine. No more beeping. So aside from that beeping, driving the EX90 is an extremely quiet experience. It is very well insulated from the outside world. There's obviously no engine noise. There's no fake electric motor noise. It's really quiet in here, and it actually makes for quite a relaxing place to be. The suspension is fairly firm, not uncomfortably so, but that does mean that you stay incredibly flat going around corners at speed. Is the Volvo EX90 a turnback car, a car so good looking that you have to turn back and look at it after you've parked it? Well, I think that it is the very pinnacle of Volvo design, and if you're a Volvo fan, yes, you will definitely think that this is one of their best looking cars. If you're not, you're probably going to go, it's a Volvo. I don't know, personally, I quite like them. I'm not a die-hard Volvo fan, but I do appreciate the way this looks. So I guess for some people, yes, it is a turnback car, others, but there's certainly no mistaking it for anything other than a Volvo. The LiDAR system on the roof can detect pedestrians and vehicles up to 250 meters away, and it's very good at telling the difference between cars, trucks. Although that car in front of me that has a trailer on the back, it seems to think that it's two cars glued together here on the screen in front of me. That's quite amusing. So the way Volvo differentiates its brand, specifically its EVs, against its dedicated EV brand Polestar is to make Polestar more aimed towards enthusiastic, sporty drivers, where the Volvo brand is meant to be aimed more towards families and executives. But the interesting thing is that with this car in particular, I think it's aimed at families and business type people who really enjoy driving, because this car has so much go and is dynamically just great to drive. And there is just so much power. Those two electric motors, this thing just flies, and it's nearly 3 tons. Now, while there aren't any real drive modes, you can choose between one pedal driving in 3 different modes. You can either have it off, or auto, or on. Auto I find to be just a little bit unpredictable. You can't really tell what the car's going to do. I like one pedal driving personally, so I have it on all the time, although it can make your passengers feel just a little bit queasy because there is a little bit of that sort of stop-start sort of feeling. And when you're driving, that's not really an issue, but passengers don't love it. Or you can turn it off altogether and drive the car normally, and that's fine too. The other thing you can change is constant all-wheel drive. You can either turn that on or off. Now, while you're driving around town, that doesn't really make a lot of difference, but if you're heading off onto gravel, off-road, certainly having all-wheel drive in those situations is a massive help. The EX90 just carries its weight so well. I mean, it's nearly 3 tons. And this isn't even the top spec. You can get even more power in the top spec model. And this car just flies. It's like you're driving a much smaller car. Now, regular viewers of this channel will know that I'm not really a fan of 0 physical buttons and everything going through the center console screen. Don't get me wrong, I love center console screens, but I think you need to have a combination of physical buttons and the screen. Having said that though, there are some always on functions in this screen, so you can always easily access the climate control. It's easy to make changes to that on the go. The only thing is that you can't do it without taking your eyes off the road. And that's not the best setup in my opinion. You've really got to have a manual dial, I think, so that you can change temperature quickly. So we might just switch the adaptive cruise control on now that we're in some bumper-to-bumper traffic and see how that works. So all you have to do to activate the system is push down again on the gear shifter over here on the steering column, and the system is engaged. So I'm just resting my hands on the steering wheel here, but the car is actually doing all of the turning. So this is level 3 automation, which means that the car can drive by itself, but a driver is needed in the seat at all times with their hands on the wheel, just ready to jump in case something goes wrong. Oh, now we're getting very close to this car. It's just sticking out here in the lane, so we're not going any further. I'll try and go around if I can. A lot of traffic for a Saturday afternoon. Yeah, I don't know that it quite detects. It's a little bit all over the place in terms of the lane markings coming down the hill here at the moment. It's getting, whoa, we're going right over the double white lines there. So it's not perfect. Yeah, it's sort of wandering all over the lane a little bit. So the LiDAR system is good, but far from perfect. I don't think it's really designed for urban driving. It's probably much better on the freeway. Now just going up some of these curves around here, up New South Head Road in Rose Bay, also known as Sydney's infamous Heartbreak Hill, and going around these quite quickly, and the car is just level flat. It is just brilliant on corners. It is so stable and feels so assured. I don't love the gear shifter being on the steering column, especially when you're parking and, you know, going backwards and forwards a lot, doing a 3-point turn. And then you throw the beeping in there as well, and it can all get just a little overwhelming. And of course, there's no on-off button either. You just put the car in park, grab your things, and the car locks itself when you walk away. So that is the all-electric Volvo EX90, the most Volvo you can get. It does a fantastic job of moving you, your stuff, your family around town, better than pretty much anything else on the road.